Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today what I am doing is getting ready for a studio tour. Now this is a studio tour I've been doing for several years, and I am a guest artist at the home or studio of another artist. So every time I do this studio tour, I am hosted by a different artist in a different location, and I have to adapt my display to the place that I'm in. Now, in the past, there have been all sorts of different things that I've dealt with. One time I was in a dining room. Second time I've been in a dining room. Another time I was in a painter's studio and I had a great big table. This time I am in a living room, and so the artist who is hosting me has made a space available for me and a 6-foot table. So what I'm going to do is set up my workspace here, and I've marked here with the tape what is 6 feet, and do a dry run of my display setup. My goal in doing this is to figure out how to make the display work in conjunction with what she's going to be doing in the room. She's actually going to be putting some of her paintings up on the wall at about this height. So I want to make sure that my display is accommodating that and still looking good. I also want to just figure out, given the amount of space that I have, what I can put out on display, how I can display it so that it looks nice, and then I'll be taking pictures of this setup when I'm done, and hopefully on the day that I actually set up in the studio, it'll go well and it'll go quickly, because there have been times in the past when I've done a setup for a studio tour and it's taken me hours and hours and hours. So I want to make it go a little bit faster this time. All right, so I am still working on setting up the dry run of the display here, and it's going reasonably well. I think I've got a layout that I can work with, but one of the things that drives me stark raving nuts is trying to use bust forms like this and like this with a necklace, because the back of the necklace has to be secured in such a way so that the pendant will actually sit properly. And I've come up with a couple of different ideas on how to deal with this over the years, but it still is not a really great solution. What I do is I add a bent pin. You can buy these. And I had this idea that I could just put a little baggie. I have lots of these little baggies. I could just put a little baggie on the back of this, and that adds enough of a weight to keep this secure. So here it is, it's on the back. And it is just heavy enough so that it will keep this in place and it doesn't show from the back. This one's a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to switch that one out. So this is just a tiny little bag. You know, this is what, maybe an 1.5 by 1.5 inches square, and it's perfect. And there we go. All right, good morning. We are now 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 days from the start of the studio tour, and I am 5 days away from doing my setup. I feel like I have so much still to do. And as you can see, the studio is a bit of a mess. So today my focus is going to be basically on getting the display that I worked up, cleaned, packed up, and then the rest of my focus is going to be on taking as many pictures as I can to get them uploaded to my website. I have set up a special page for this studio tour to give people a preview of what is for sale, and also to clean as much of the jewelry as possible. And in that regard, I have run into a problem in that the tumbler that I have, the barrel, for whatever reason, I guess, has worn out and it is not cleaning the jewelry properly. So I have 2 tumbler barrels. I've switched to the other one. It's not much better because it's also worn out. And I don't have time anymore to go and buy a new one to get it shipped here in time to be able to clean the jewelry using the tumbler. So we also happen to have a vibratory tumbler here, and 2 of them actually. One doesn't work and the other one quit when I tried to use it. So I turned it on, it worked for all of about 10 minutes, and then it died. So I am having to resort to doing something that I really don't like to do in order to clean the jewelry and make it bright and shiny. First of all, using Tarnex to clean the stuff that is very dirty and needs to be really cleaned. The problem with using Tarnex is that while it does a good job and it does make the jewelry bright and shiny, it is not good on stones that are soft. So I can't use it on stones that are soft. And the other thing that happens is that I try to resist using Tarnex as much as possible because it actually is a fairly harsh chemical, and over time it creates little pits in the jewelry and actually will make it tarnish faster. So I do my best to avoid using it. Can't really do that because I really do need to use it right now. So the other thing I am doing is using my rouge cloth and giving everything a nice little hand polish as much as possible. Thankfully, I store everything in bags most of the time, and quite often for some of the pieces, I wrap them up in anti-tarnish paper. So there isn't a lot of jewelry that needs to get cleaned, but enough to make me kind of feel a little panicky about what I'm doing. So that's my day today. really wish that Value Village would not tape these things together, because this stuff is a pain in the butt to get off. I understand why they do it, but yeah, just a pain. It is setup day for the studio tour, and I'm tired but excited. I was up until the wee hours of the morning last night, getting everything cleaned, getting everything priced, getting everything set up in terms of packaged and that. And the reason for that was because we ended up having to change plans. My son was supposed to come home from university last Sunday, and then had a power failure at the university, and his last exam got delayed by 4 days, so we had to go and get him yesterday. That meant that a good part of the day yesterday was devoted to getting him moved out of residence and brought home. I'm here now, and I am ready to get going. Alright, so first issue, there is a ridge where this table folds in half that causes this display to wobble a little bit, so I'm putting some cards down here. It's just these little cardstock things, like that, and that is perfect to be able to level it off, so it'll sit securely. Alright, so now I realize that because this one is shimmed, all of these other ones are going to be a little bit lower here. So I'm going to use some of these spare display things to create another level here and even that up a bit. All right, so it is studio tour day, and my studio looks like a bomb has gone off on it. I will deal with that next week. I am excited for what's going to go on today. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the people that are coming through. Oh, hello, Stella. And we've got a tail wagging here. You're excited about the studio tour too, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. So, looking forward to a really good day.